Hey Pisces, this is your general tarot reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Ascendant, Rising Sign for the month of October. Pisces, this month you could be a real force to be reckoned with. Why? Because as we enter the month in Libra season, you have the Sun and very quickly then on October 4th, Mars in the 8th house, where it's all about you getting stuck in with power, with force, to finally bring something maybe to a head and allow it to transform. Maybe some fears around a financial situation, dealing with the taxes, dealing with your bank account, dealing with that financial situation, whatever it may be. Something is coming to a head for it to be transformed this month. And you're putting a lot of drive and a lot of energy into doing that. Your confidence is quite high this month too. For me, it's like get your sleeves rolled up and get stuck in and deal with a situation once and for all. Even if it's to do with relationships, partnerships, business partnerships, friendships, family relationships, it's like you are that force to be reckoned with. It is this thing, Pisces, of whatever craziness or drama or tension or weirdness comes your way this month. It's like, stand back. I'll solve this. I'll fix this. I'll handle this. I'm Pisces when all of you are going nuts and running around in circles going, I will step in and fix this. I get the real sense here, Pisces, of you kind of going through the month with that attitude of, would you all just calm yourselves, please? I've got this. Stop bringing me your stress. Stop bringing me your tension. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. Will you just chill? So there's a real strong vibe of that. I will fix it. Look, let me fix it. If it means shutting you up, then I'll fix it. But can everybody just calm down here, please? Hello. Attention, please. Can everybody just calm the hell down, please? I will fix this. So there's that strong feeling, Pisces, where you are that force that is going in this month to fix any crazy tension, the things that people are losing sleep over, maybe things you've been losing sleep over. You've got it. You're in control, which is unusual because everybody else this month will be quite out of control. You are that, the eye of the storm, the kind of calm in the middle of the chaos, and you're handling it like a pro, Pisces. Very, very much so. But we have the full moon this month on October 13th in Aries in the 2nd house. And again, this card coming up too. Again, I feel this thing of having strong force. You're not afraid to speak up this month. You're not afraid to assert yourself. You're not afraid either to communicate exactly what you feel, what you want and what you need in all types of relationships. And the other thing you don't seem to be afraid of is what will happen. I don't care about the consequences. It's more important that I get to say what's going on here. I don't care. I don't care how you feel about X, Y, and Z. This is my truth. This is me handling this. This is the essence of what's going on. You may not like it, but I'm going to have to communicate it, and you might not like hearing that. So there's that feeling, Pisces, of you having maybe to tell somebody something that seems to be the truth. But they're not going to like to hear it, but they have to hear it. And they could go all crazy after they hear it. But there's a feeling coming from you of, I don't care. Not that you don't care, but more like, well, deal with it, or we must deal with it. Before we can fix this, we must first talk about the big white elephant in the room kind of thing. So there's a feeling of you having to say something this month, Pisces. It's like the grown-up thing to do, the big thing to do. It's like we have to do it. We have to have this conversation. We have to talk about it. You're not going to like it. Sorry to be the one to say it, but it has to be done because this is how the abscess gets healed. This is how something gets fixed. We have to touch a tender point in something before we can start healing it. So that's very strong. Some of you having to communicate with real force, real power and real bluntness, directness. Something that other people, as I said, might not like, but it's the remedy, it's the medicine, it's the tonic. It's just what's needed in order to be healed. Standing your ground too here a little bit, Pisces. Again, reminding people that you're not somebody that they can walk on, that you will let a lot of things pass, but that you do have a line and you do draw the line. I get a feeling there'll be a lot of people this month quite surprised at something that you've to communicate, something that you've to say, something that it's kind of like you throw it out there and say, well, there it is, deal with it. There it is, have it. There it is. Now what you do with that is all your business. It makes me feel better to just get this off my shoulders or get this off out of my mind type of thing. So you're dealing with that. Now, Mercury, Venus, and then the new moon this month, all in the 9th house. For some of you, just to change tack here a little bit, there might be a real thing where it's on your mind to really expand your horizons in some way, really get focused in a big way on something. Some of you might, even if you don't go back to school or college or to night class or something like that, which you could be doing, it's more like personal study of something. Because if I study this, then I know it's going to open new doors for me. I know it's going to expand something for me. I know it's going to answer something for me that is going to help me in some way. So say, for example, you have a website and you've got Mercury and Venus in there and the new moon. It's almost like redoing your website, doing it all completely different. But first you have to go and look at other websites to see what they're doing, or maybe do an online class about how to redesign a website. Anything like that. Venus loves beauty and design, and in the 9th house she wants to learn about the beauty of something, learn how to design something, learn how to make something aesthetically pleasing. For example, say if you have an Instagram account and you are, I don't know, a yoga teacher, for example, there could be something about your Instagram page that could be more beautiful, more aesthetically pleasing, but you have to go and study how that's done. So there's a lot of you with your mind on, it's like it will help your business, it will help to promote your hobbies, it will help to promote your maybe presence out there in the world if you're going out there trying to knock on doors, you know, to promote yourself or something like that. There's a real feeling of, I've got to make this more aesthetically pleasing, and I've got to understand how to do that. So design, working on the internet, exploring and studying art, design, beauty, anything like that. And even technology here too, because I know you've Saturn and Pluto there in the 11th house, dealing with high-tech stuff. Any of the arts, be it modern or classical, there's this feeling of wanting to indulge, wanting to be inspired, very much inspired this month, Pisces. And it's like looking for inspiration from people who really know what they're at, they know what they're doing, and taking inspiration from that source to create something beautiful in your life, maybe even in your working life or on your social media presence there. So that could be something that's really on your mind. Now, the other thing that's on your mind is travel and wanting to get more culturally savvy. You could be very interested in foreign things, or maybe taking trips or journeys to a place that you're saying, I've always wanted to go there. I don't know that place. I don't know how they live. I don't know what they do. Maybe some of you are even thinking of moving to another place that's totally different to where you're at now, and you're saying, maybe I should do a recce. I should just go there and test it out. How do they live? What do they do? What language do they speak? How would I fit in? So there's so much, Pisces, for you this month, because you're so energized by Mars to make big transformations in your life. So transformations with work, with how you present yourself, with what you're creating, transforming relationships. And for those of you in a relationship, both of you being transformed and transforming your lives perhaps in some major and significant way. So I love that. I love the force that's going into that. Now, I want to say this too. for some of you, there could be some weirdness, and I touched upon that a few moments ago, about what you need to communicate. Maybe revealing things about yourself that you probably ordinarily wouldn't do. Maybe talking about subjects that were normally off the table. Maybe finally having that real moment for some of you where you do talk about a taboo subject, a subject that you said, I'll never speak to anybody about this. This is my business and my business alone, and I'm keeping that under wraps. But I get this thing, Pisces, it's like something happens that's a bit chaotic or a bit out of control, and you might blurt out something or say something, but that seems to be a healing thing. It was like, now that I've said it, there's no going back. People have heard it, they've heard it. They heard me say this thing that I didn't want to say. But Pisces, I feel that there's something very positive about that. Like, for example, if you had a secret pain or a secret that you were trying to hold back from family or friends or even your partner or your work colleagues, it could be a real moment where there's a bit of heat and pressure put on you, where you just say, oh, I'm going to say this. And you afterwards think, why did I do it? Why did I do it? But it's the right thing, Pisces. It's like a thing that, it's a shock to your system when it's said, but once it's said, a huge amount of healing comes. So there is so much going on for you, my love, so much. Some of you might find that you could hear a secret too this month, Pisces. A secret that maybe you would have preferred not to have known. When you hear it, you'll probably say, I could have gone my whole life without knowing that. I was better off when I didn't know that. But now that I know it, I'm going to take the higher moral ground here. If somebody perhaps even has been a bit weird or gossipy in some cases, it could be other things too. But there's a feeling of, you know what, I just have to stand back and treat it as I find it, take the higher moral ground, not be bothered by it, not be hurt by it, but instead learn from it, grow from it, and maybe even in some cases use this as a benchmark against how shit like that doesn't trigger me so much anymore. Something like this maybe a while ago would have really triggered me or bothered me if I heard gossipy things, or if I, saw somebody being, quite, he said, she said, some character flaw maybe in another person, or trickery or deception or foolery in another person. There's a real moment here of using that as a gauge this month. When you see it, you go, I'm not so triggered by that. It doesn't bother me. I'm bigger than that. I've grown from that. I've grown so much. Pisces, whatever seems to be happening this month, I feel that at some point through this month you say, but I've grown so much and that shit doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah. Sorry if you can hear noise there. That's just neighbours there. Sorry about that. Now, finally, the second card comes out there. We've only 2 cards here. Other things that might be going on. We have Pluto going direct this month in the 11th house. So I feel, more power and progress going into communicating these future dreams that you have, where you see yourself in the future, where you want to find yourself placed. I want to be here. So with Pluto going direct again this month, it's like you've more power and control about where you want to go this month, Pisces. Strong power coming your way, but it feels like, in some ways it's like the test is, can you stand up and take that power? Can you stand up and own it? Can you stand up and use force in a situation if it's required? Can you do that? Can you put control over something? And then once you do that, it all flows that much better. So I like that. There's a lot going on, I feel, Pisces. A few cards hopping out there. Just get them out there, yeah. 2 more. Yeah, Pluto going direct this month, changing something. And power. Yeah, did we not talk about power? Yeah, so let me just look down here and see what else is going on. I see very positive things for you, Pisces, if you're creating something this month. Again, looking for that big inspiration again, because you've got that buzz on to create. I want to create. I want to get serious about what I'm creating. Maybe some of you really using a talent that you have, a real natural talent that you have, something that you find so easy to express yourself doing. Maybe it's a sport. It's that thing, Pisces, of this just comes so naturally. This just comes so easy to me. And some of you could be really making some money, even if it's a side hustle this month, from doing something that's just like, I don't even have to think about doing that. It just comes so naturally to me. So maybe money being made from a side hustle, from a skill or a talent that you have. You'll be very emotionally connected to people in general, particularly children, your own children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, your friends' kids or whatever. There's a good vibe, there's a good flow between you and children this month. And maybe some good conversations can be had between you and the younger ones in our world. They might have something very interesting to tell you. Something about youth, because it's not just children, it could be like small animals, little baby animals, puppies or kittens, and you're saying, where are you going with this puppies, kittens? How are we going talking about that? It's what I feel, Pisces, it's this thing, that the freshness of the things that young people have to say, the freshness of young life, the freshness. Now in the southern hemisphere you've got spring going on, so it's the freshness of things that you're enjoying this month, and you're feeling very connected to that. And you're saying, okay, so what does that mean? It just means that you're going to be further inspired, Pisces, to continue growing in many, many ways. Now, that card came out. We're waiting on 3 more. And I think we've kind of covered a lot of the general vibe there. So I'll focus on getting these 3 cards going on as they leapt out there. This one that came out like that, and you're saying, oh really, are we really doing that? Yeah, we are, Pisces, sorry. And it's a nice card to end with. So Pisces, let's go over to your big grand, ta-da, overview. So we open up with the Lover's card, and a card of strong emotions beside that. This is also the card of wanting to use force in some way to bring something into form. So I feel in a relationship, now that could be like a love relationship that you're in, but it could be friendship, family members, work colleagues, business, anything like that. There's a real feeling of they're in a state of chaos. There is something about them that is highly stressed, feeling like they're being trapped, like they've no options, feeling like they're going they're going through the mill a little bit in some cases. I can sense their pressure, I can sense their doubt, their suspicion. And in some cases, Pisces, they might come to you and try to fill you with doubt, suspicion. In some cases, you might lose their support about something that you're trying to bring into form. And that could get a bit hurtful, Pisces, but I'm not so worried here, because I think that you've got so much force and strength this month that when even the people that you trust the most lose faith in your dream, lose faith in your direction, or lose faith in general, then you're able to keep driving it. You're able to keep bringing it. You're able to keep pushing it. You're able to keep saying, look, okay, so you don't believe in it. Stand back and let me get on with the business of showing you how it's done. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to let this fall by the wayside. I'm not going to let this relationship fall by the wayside. I'm putting force into this. I'm going to show you why this connection that we have, friendship, relationship, working connection, I'm going to show you why this is worth it. I'm going to show you why this is going to work. And I'm going to drive this bitch home. This is a victory card. For me, it's the thing of when everybody else has doubted you, Pisces, when everybody else is falling apart, when everybody else is losing their shit, you're telling everybody to calm down and you bring a victory to something. You're definitely driving something. If it is a love relationship, you are the force in the relationship this month, because I feel your partner is definitely it's like they've too many choices, or there's too much going on, too much noise, and they're running around and round and round in circles. You know, they're spinning. They're just spinning out of control. And you bring the emotional grounding that they need, which is what you're excellent at, Pisces. You know, when somebody is spinning out of control, look at this card, like the spinning top there, if you can see that. Spin, 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 and you're driving it. You're saying, calm yourself, bitches, calm yourself. I've got this under control. I will make this happen. What is this, Pisces? I'm also getting this feeling of when everybody else is losing hope, you step forward and you make it happen. You make something happen. It's almost like you rescued the day. You save something. You step in when everything is all at a loss, when everything is all destroyed, when everything has just turned to shit. And you step in and say, these people just have no stamina. Let me just gather all of this together. And look, there it is. Ta-da, bitches. It's finished. What was your problem? So there's that feeling of you just strolling in, striding in, and just fixing something and saying, what were you losing your shit over? But I think what's quite sweet, Pisces, is that you don't understand the force you have this month. You just strolling in and fixing something just like that could leave everybody else totally, how did you do that? How did you do that? And you, again, that thing of, what? What? You know, I just did it. It's easy to me. It's easy for me to do it. But people are very impressed with you, Pisces, this month, I feel, with the level of how you're handling something. You're handling something in a way that nobody else could have done it. Something could have been destroyed. It could have fallen to the wayside. It could have just been something that just fell to shit. And it's just so strong. I'm just sitting with a Pisces. Sorry if I'm just focusing on that a little bit too much there. But for me, it's so strong. And there's such beauty in whatever this thing is that you're fixing just so easily. It might involve you having to say something, having to be the one that goes in with the blunt and direct words, having to use real force in some way to save the day. Either way, Pisces, I'm fairly impressed with you, because it's almost like you deserve a huge acknowledgement for what it is that you're going to do this month. But you're saying, what? What did I do? What did I do? And everybody else will be telling you, but don't you see, you did this and you did this. And you're saying, what? Oh, that thing. I get the feeling of take the praise, Pisces, because you're doing something this month that is definitely worthy of praise. Now, the first two cards show me that maybe for some of you, somebody with a sun, moon, or ascendant, Gemini or Cancer could be a positive or maybe even negative catalyst for change and transformation. Either way, you're making the change and you are transforming. And you are, again, this thing of communicating something quickly. This is the feeling of strike while the iron is hot. I feel some of you are saying, well, the reason it's turning to shit for everybody is because they're not quick off the mark. They're not quick. They're too slow. They're not moving fast enough. This is a situation that needs everyone to move quickly. Mars in the 8th house. We can fix this crisis if we move quickly. And that's how it's handled. That's how it's done. So Pisces, that is how there is a problem fixed. There is a drama. There is a crisis fixed. If it's handled like absolute lightning. Mars in the 8th house. He moves so quickly that you can't even see him. And that is how you bring back balance to this situation. In some cases, if it's to do with a money thing, again, keep it quick. Don't sleep on it. Don't wait too long. Get a financial thing fixed. Nip something in the bud. Speak to your bank manager. Speak to whoever this is about a financial thing. If it's your partner, get this organized super quick. Because the faster you are, Pisces, this month, then there you are, like the juggler saying, I told you I could balance this. And this is a card of feeling very happy that you're more secure and grounded now. See him, he's come out of choppy waters while all the people in the boats there are going through it. He's there with his first foot on solid ground saying, I can handle this. This doesn't make me nuts. This doesn't drive me mad. We have a lot of Scorpio energy this month, even though it's Libra season. And you're saying, this is water. I know how to do this. Look at all of them going crazy back there. I'm just here dancing, having a little disco moment with my 2 gold coins. 2s are also representative of manifestation force, putting force into doubling, multiplying, manifesting more things in your life. So again, going back to that thing of being creative, maybe doing something with your website or doing something that's very, very broad and expansive with the work that you're doing, doubles your money. But again, this feeling of, I'm enjoying doing this, I'm enjoying learning, I'm enjoying absorbing the information. Why am I enjoying it? Because it makes me feel good, and I'm also learning how to increase my security, but also increase my happiness. Saying something quickly to somebody too might somehow increase some spiritual happiness or growth or steadiness or a feeling of groundedness in yourself too, Pisces. So much going on with you this month. Now, mid-month, some very, very serious communication needs to be had in order for you to transform. And it could mean getting hurt, and it could mean hurting somebody else. But as we talked about this and touched upon this earlier on, there's a feeling of this has to be done. This is the energy of this must be fixed. We must get rid of our old beliefs. Mercury, Venus and the new moon in the 9th house of beliefs. The things that we once had faith in, they need to be knocked down. The king, the structures of our beliefs, the structures of how we thought something was supposed to go, they all have to be knocked down in order to make way for an absolute new horizon. What you believed about a relationship might need to change. What you believe about a person might have to change. Maybe what you believe about good business practice has to change. Your skills or talents, it's like what you believed has to change to make way to be transformed into something better. And I know sometimes this card is a negative in some ways. It can be read a million ways. It's not always about third-party situations and things like that. Very often this is about serious communication. Taking what you once valued, see the heart, I once valued this, but now I'm going to have a much clearer thought. Take my heart out of it and be more clear, more decisive. Something is happening, I feel, Pisces. I feel it as a positive thing, but it's like that thing of stepping back. No, I'm not going to be ruled by my heart. I'm not going to be manipulated emotionally. I'm not. I'm going to have a cool, calm, objective point of view. I'm going to be smart here. I'm going to get thinking here. And this is how I transform. Not being stuck in doing the thing the way I've always liked it to be done, but saying there is room for expansion in this relationship, with my business, with my creativity, friendships, families. There is room for expansion, and I'm going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable here. Maybe communicate something to somebody. It's going to get weird, it's going to get uncomfortable, but I know this is what I have to do or what we have to do to grow. To grow. Mars sitting there in the 8th house of transformation, in the Plutonic house. Strength, force, dynamism, leading, maintaining your seat of power and never giving that up ever again, no matter who comes to challenge you. And I feel mid-month, Pisces, somebody could try to come to challenge you with their words. Somebody could get bitter, nasty, snarky. Somebody could try to say things that would hurt your heart. But the remedy here seems to be that you pull away and say, bitch, now you know that would usually trigger me, but I've got Mercury, the mind, the intelligent part of me, and Venus in the 9th house and the new moon, which means I'm starting over. I'm not going to get triggered by this. I'm more in control of this. If you're coming in trying to challenge me, maybe it's somebody that you're in competition with, a love rival even in some cases, a business rival, somebody that you work with, competing a little bit too aggressively with you, somebody just getting that little bit too, this used to be fun, but now you're just overstepping the mark. Now I'm finding you quite aggressive. That type of thing, you win, Pisces, because you're asserting yourself. Pisces, don't dare try to take away from me something that is mine. I have power over this. I have control over this. You are really in control this month, Pisces. And again, maybe something that was said or blurted out without thinking, that was designed maybe to hurt you, Pisces, or designed to make you feel like it's all falling apart. But as we're coming towards the end of the month, there's a moment where you stop this, halt this, and say, yeah, I see what you tried to do there. That communication was supposed to hurt me. That communication was supposed to destroy me, even in some cases. You aimed below the belt. You aimed to hurt. And you're saying, wait a minute. I need a time here maybe to think about how I'm going to handle this. Because you're not hurting me. This is a Sagittarius card. Sagittarius in your 10th house. Maybe somebody, maybe in work, doing something a bit weird, trying to be a bit sneaky or weird with you. Could even be a Sagittarius, sun, moon, or ascendant. But they're trying to pull the rug from under you. It's not going to work, Pisces. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And also this other... Sorry, Pisces, I just got cut out there. What I was going to say is, don't be afraid to totally change your perspective on something. I feel that there's a trip or a journey. For some of you, it's probably somehow related to the work you're doing, directly or indirectly. But a trip or a journey that you're expecting it to go one way and it doesn't go the way you expected it. And here's what needs to happen, Pisces. It's like a shift. Okay, it didn't play out the way you thought it would, but you can reshift this in your mind. You can change your perspective a little bit and not be so trapped in how you thought something was supposed to play out, how you thought it would go, how you thought it would look, how you thought it would be. It's like before we end the month, it's like, don't be too disappointed when something doesn't go the way you thought it would, because if you just have a little bit of a reshift of your perspective on this, then you'll actually see that what's presented to you is probably even better than what you hoped it would be. But it requires some expansiveness on your part to think broader, and I don't think that's a problem for you at all, Pisces. For some of you, if you work from home, is it a work-home move that some of you are thinking of doing? That it's like it takes a bit of a shift in thought to do it differently, but it'll be fine. Either way, it'll work out right. And we end with this beautiful card, the 10 of Pentacles, which is the completion of something, and something it's like we end the month with you feeling content, happy, like you've accomplished something, like you've won through something, pushed something into a winning circle. You've completed something that makes you feel more happy. If it's those of you who are maybe going on a little bit of a journey this month to find somewhere new for you, your partner, or even your family to live in, that could be a real win this month. Maybe getting some positive vibes back from family at the end of the month. But everything feels good. Money-wise, I think it's feeling very, very good. It's like this is such a weird month where if you're handling everything very, very well, even other people's crisis this month, Pisces, you leave the month feeling very content, very happy, but certainly like, I've finished some karmic thing. This is very often the completion of karma, this card. It's like I don't have to go back there again. I don't have to do that again. I don't have to work like that again, be like that again, be in a relationship like that again. I feel more on solid ground. You see, you've started the month looking for solid ground and you end the month being really secure. This is how it should be, and I'm not going back anymore. Forwards only, no going backwards. I really like that, Pisces. I really, really like that. There is that force and energy and drive for you to will something to happen this month. No matter who is telling you that it can't be done, no matter who is challenging you, competing with you, no matter even what the circumstances are doing, it's like everything around just seems to be all in a state of chaos, but you keep driving it and readjusting your perspective on it, and then you grow. You're taking a growth spurt here, really, Pisces, and you end up feeling more content and in control and happier in yourself before the month ends. Pisces, I really love that. I love it, I love it. Now, my love, I'm going to leave it at that, but as you already know, these are the general energies of the month. To get into the real details, and there does seem to be a lot going on for you this month, to get into the details, you know by now where to come. Come to the VIMEO readings, the deep read. Down there in the description box, you'll see a link. Click into it and come along to the deep read if you want to know the details about your relationships. For the singles, is there love this month? For your money, for your career, for family, home, friends, and anything else we don't touch upon here, we open that right out in the deep read. So Pisces, the link is down there below in the description box. Come along and we'll figure out what the heck is going on. So my beauty, I'm going to leave it at that. As always, I am going to leave you with all my love and a great, great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my gorgeous. Bye.